Hello, I'm Julianna Beavan, and what I'm going to take you through now is effective prospecting conversations. Now, I know when I first started my business, probably a little bit like you, I was absolutely petrified of contacting somebody about the opportunity. And I don't think it was because I was scared of what they would think. I was afraid of not knowing what to say back. So I was afraid of them asking questions and not knowing how to answer those questions, or not even knowing how to spark up a conversation and the right words to use. So today I'm going to take you through what I believe some magic formulas and some magic words that you can use to get the best out of your prospecting conversations. Now, one of the first things that you want to use when talking to people is the phrase, "don't worry." Now, when you say "don't worry," what it does is it helps diffuse a situation very, very quickly. It will help bring calm to maybe potentially a difficult situation. It will provide your prospect with reassurance. It will turn big challenges into really, really small challenges. Don't worry is always useful as well when your prospect may be concerned of next steps to take. It will pass comfort to them. You'll remain composed and in a controlled tone when you say, "don't worry." It's useful for people who are maybe undecided. And you know what? Conditioned from childhood, the word "don't worry" will really trigger a comforting emotion. These words can be used face to face, and they can also be used by telephone or via message. But "don't worry" is a very good word to be able to use. And some examples of that. "Don't worry, you're speaking to the right person." "Don't worry, I've seen this situation many times and we are perfectly equipped to help." "Don't worry, I understand your current point of view and I'm sorry that this is how you feel." "Don't worry, you are bound to feel nervous. That's exactly why I'm here to help you." Just some really good examples of how to use "don't worry." The next one is, "I'm not sure if it's for you, but..." Now, with this saying, it basically allows you to recommend just about anything after you say this. It's rejection free, which means it feels great for us as well, because sometimes we're afraid of that rejection. So "I'm not sure it's for you, but..." It's very rejection free. It can be used in front of any idea that you wish to introduce to somebody, and then there's no pressure for the person that you're speaking to either. Using the "but," so that "I'm not sure it's for you, but," reverses the statement, and with no burden to your prospect, all they will hear is, "I think you might benefit from." And being able to decline an offer means that it makes it easier for some people to say yes. So some examples of how to use "I'm not sure if it's for you, but..." "I'm not sure if it's for you, but are you free on Thursday, Wednesday?" "I'm not sure it's for you, but would you be open to earning an extra income?" "I'm not sure it's for you, but have you considered," etc., etc. The third magic word, "would it be okay if?" Would it be okay if? Now, agreement prior to action is powerful for getting your own way. So would it be okay if? And using these words means that your listener is 90% of the way in agreeing to your action without even knowing what it is yet. When somebody says this to you, it's impossible to say no to any reasonable request that comes then after this. And it's used to agree for appointment or to send information. So how you would use "would it be okay if" is, "would it be okay if I popped to see you next week?" "Would it be okay if I sent you a 5-minute link?" "Would it be okay if I contact you after you've watched the link?" "Would it be okay if I kept you updated on my progress?" "Would it be okay if I contacted you again in 3 months?" Would it be okay? Great magic word. The next one is "before you make your mind up." Before you make your mind up. So this is a great way for when people want to change their mind. It's a great way to help them. This helps put their mind into a position where they're open for change. And by using this, you can naturally take the decision from being the decision maker, from being certain of the outcome, to then be open-minded to consider a change. So before you make your mind up, and some examples of how you would use that are, before you make your mind up, have you considered any other opportunity that will enable you to achieve what you want to achieve. Before you make your mind up, would it make sense to gain all the information to ensure that you make an informed decision? Before you make your mind up, shall we just look at some other options? Next one, most people. Now, what I find with this is that people take comfort in knowing that others have gone before us, and it makes people feel safe. That somebody's been there done it before them, and they're going to do the same thing. So people are like sheep, aren't they? So most people. So it's great in scenarios of indecision. It brings people around to your way of thinking very quickly, and like I said, people like to follow the crowd. So some examples of most people would be, the way we work with most people is, at this stage, most people would register with an evaluation pack. Most people in your situation tend to. Most people feel the same but found that. Most people. Very, very good magic word. Just imagine. This is another word. Just imagine. So people make decisions based on emotion before logic. So decisions are made because it feels right before it has to make sense. And to help people make decisions, we need to help them visualize their outcome. So just imagine helps do that. It helps you paint a picture to your listener, and it helps people see what benefits that you have to offer. And people will take action for potential gain to avoid loss. And by using just imagine helps them see that. So some just imagine examples. Just imagine how you will feel in 2 years' time when you are a manager earning £2,000 per month. Just imagine what would happen if you couldn't pay that debt off, pay your rent, whatever situation. Just imagine if you didn't do this. Just imagine what it would feel like knowing that. Just imagine what you could do with an extra £400 per month. Just imagine. You can see how powerful that is. The other word I like, or the other magic sentence I like, is just out of curiosity. Now, this basically helps make direct statements and ask some direct questions and get people off the fence. Sometimes it can be difficult to ask somebody what they're thinking without the fear of being rude, in kind of saying, what do you mean? That can be rude. But when you add just out of curiosity, it softens the blow of the question, helps take people to the next step, and you'll feel more comfortable with direct approaches. And you know what? It helps gain the real answer behind some of the objections that you might get. So some examples of just out of curiosity would be, just out of curiosity, what needs to happen now to help you commit to this? Just out of curiosity, is this something that you're serious about? And just out of curiosity, what exactly is it that you'd like to think about? What makes you say that is the next one. What makes you say that? This helps clarify the prospect's reasoning of any point of view. When we don't get our own way, initially our reaction is to verbal rampage on why people should join. So like selling why they should join. By using this as well, it helps you gain a clear opinion and in turn helps gain their agreement. So some examples of what makes you say that is, I might be able to do it next year. Oh really, what makes you say that? It's too expensive. What makes you say that? It's not quite right for me right now. What makes you say that? And what it does, it really, like I said, helps you uncover the real reason as to why people are giving you those objections. What makes you say that? And it really helps you understand where they're coming from. You couldn't do me a favour. This is another good one. When you ask for a favour, the initial reaction from someone is to usually say yes before considering the request to follow. So when somebody asks me to do a favour, even if I don't want to, I'm dying to say no, but I just can't bring myself to say no. So this is great to use in those situations. Great when asking for referrals. It gets people committed before the details are provided. So they can't go back on it then, can they? So just a quick example of that. You couldn't do me a favour, could you? You wouldn't happen to know just one person who would benefit from an extra £400 per month. You couldn't do me a favour, could you? You wouldn't come along to a business opportunity meeting. I was supposed to take a guest, but one of my guests didn't turn up. You know what? It's a great way to get people in front of something. Another one, I bet you're a little bit like me. Now, bet you're a little bit like me. People love to fit in with others. So they like to feel as though they're a little bit like you. You can then paint a picture of yourself and ask others to agree with you. It can be a rapid way to get people to agree quickly. And getting people to agree with you is a very, very, very powerful tool. So I bet you're a little bit like me. Some examples. I bet you're a little bit like me and couldn't see a way out of your job without replacing your income. I bet you're a little bit like I was, too much month at the end of the money. I bet you're a little bit like me, thinking that these things are a bit too good to be true. I bet you're a little bit like me, nervous about making a change. So using these and using them in the correct way is really, really going to help you move your business forward. So make sure that you're learning these different things, putting them into practice with your friend, practice with your partner. And I really, really, really hope that you found that useful and you now feel a bit more confident to go out there and share this opportunity with as many people to help move your business forward.